everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Nation Radio. Not so normal. Denise and Ron are back.
Barely here.
Let me turn you up. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
She had it way down.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So, how's Florida life treating you?
We
Busy.
live in the rainforest. It rains every day. We moved from Kansas to get stuck in a tornado here. On Sunday, we had a tornado and we were driving in it. So, which I had never done before.
Right.
Well, actually, I'd only done once before. So, well, thank you, Nigel. And so, we got to the U-Haul place, and the guy who works there says, "Oh, I survived the Joplin tornado and the Branson tornado that picked up the plane." So I looked at him and said, "So it's your fault."
You brought Kansas weather with you down to Florida.
Yeah, so
These guys lived everywhere where it was bad or had, bad things have happened.
But yeah, Monday before we moved here, Lauren came down. And that night there was a tornado that killed someone in Pensacola. And they had flooding. They had 16 inches of rain. Well, apparently we have a river that runs through our yard when it rains really bad. We didn't know that.
That's what I told Denise, Chad. It's baby tornadoes here. This is nothing.
So
this look like a bad rainstorm.
Hi, Kelly.
So, yeah.
Hey, Kelly.
I've cleaned up sticks every day from the yard. Every day. So, but other than that, it's
busy.
We've just been running around like chickens with our heads cut off. I finally went back to work yesterday. Hey, Sherilyn. It's been a long time since I've seen you. So, But yeah, living in Florida is still better than living in Kansas.
Oh, I'll agree with you because it's been a heat wave up here.
Yeah.
Feels like 103 outside here.
Well, it's been right now. It is 88 out, but it feels like 98.
Yeah,
and it's been that way all week and going to be the rest of the week.
I think it said it was 91 here, and it feels like 111 or 103 today.
That's what they say. I don't know.
109.
I mean, we're getting ready to get another little pop-up storm.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, you can feel the humidity is going way up. But I went walking today at noon. And it was supposedly 100 and something heat index. I didn't feel that bad.
Right.
But yeah, it says it feels like 109 out
Shirt
there.
was soaked.
Right.
Pretty quick, but.
Well, I got as a real great guest for tonight.
Yeah. Hey, Irene's on there. Christopher.
Yeah, we got a lot of people over here on the Facebooks, and Rumble is coming up real good and stuff. So, I mean, it's doing real great.
Well, I hope to have the
Kelly
Paranormal
says it's
Pride.
real hot in England.
Yeah.
Well,
and she said she had some paranormal activity.
Right.
Over the weekend.
I'm going to say that the Paranormal Pride will be back on the 10th.
On the 10th?
Yeah, I'm not going to do a show on July 3rd. It's the anniversary of my dad's death. It's just not a good day.
Right.
Plus, people,
the 3rd and the 4th aren't good days for us anyway. Mm-hmm. In the paranormal field.
Yeah, we'll be thinking of Rick Rose anyway. Mm-hmm. So just that week is always a hard week for me. Always.
Right.
So,
well, with your dad being murdered and stuff, and yeah, that can be a hard week. You've had to live that with you all your life. So
yeah. Well,
I look like I'm in the kids' chair.
We have no chairs.
Yeah, we don't have any chairs.
And Irene said her hotel was haunted too because she was down in Hiroshima.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Over the weekend. As you know, I was born with a paranormal gift. Oh, awesome, Kelly.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to try to.
So anyway, folks, we have a real great on here tonight. I reached out to him today, and he said he'd come on. A lot of people in the paranormal use his apps. Daniel Roberts the creator of EchoBox 2 and 3 and other apps, which me and Ron use EchoBox 3
It's our
all the
favorite.
time. And he has a new app out, and we'll be discussing that in the show
Ooh.
later on. So I've already downloaded it and got it.
Did you?
Yeah, and I'm learning how to use it. It's interesting. But anyway, folks, I want to bring up Danny Roberge. Hey, Danny.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you great. Thanks for coming on
Oh,
Paranormal Nation.
okay, because it's so far. I've had a hard time hearing you guys, just so you know. So you might have to ask me the same thing more than once.
Okay.
Denise and Ron, there especially, they when they talk, it sounds like an Echo Box session. I'm like
Oh.
trying.
I'm so sorry.
So they're
Well, we're used to
really
that.
bad. Yeah,
But,
so you might have to
Yeah.
to translate them for me because I can't hear them
Okay.
very well.
you can hear me real good,
All
right?
right, but thanks for having.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
That's
Yeah,
great.
we just got everything down here, and we just kind of got her stuff set up maybe a couple days ago.
Yeah, they
Cool.
just moved down
I
to
too am in
Florida.
Florida.
Yep.
I'm also in Florida, so
Where,
Oh, you
where
are?
at?
What part?
Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, you're not
Well,
too
you're
far
over
from
by
us.
one of my hosts on another show. Or she lives
Yeah.
just right outside of Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm as far south as you can get going north in Florida.
That's
It's like
awesome.
southern Georgia. Yeah. I say y'all these days.
Right. But yeah, folks out there, all our listeners, everything have seen us use, and especially me when I started Paranormal Nation Radio. I used Echo Box 3 to do
Mhm.
live videos with it and everything on a podcast. And what got me
Nice.
into Echo Box was when I started in the paranormal field, another group that we went to see had Echo Box. And it was saying stuff in Spanish. And I was talking to the founder and everything. When we started our group, I bought the Echo Box 3 and went to the local cemetery in the town I grew up where my grandfather is buried, who I was real
Mhm.
close to. And this is what made me a real believer in the Echo Box 3 is I'm down there sitting in my van. It's a cold December day evening, and I'm right outside his plot. And I called him by his real name, Carl Llewellyn. Nothing come through the Echo Box, not a thing. And I sat there and thought to myself, I go, why would he answer me that? I have never called him by that name. So I said, Papa, are you here? The Echo Box said, hi, in a voice I hadn't heard in 30 years. Then it turns around and I said,
Right.
do you know who this is? And this is what made me a real believer is the Echo Box turned around and said, Butch. My papa gave me a nickname of Butch when I was little because we both have the same first name. And all I could think of, there's no way
Yeah, I
this
mean that's like
creator put
undeniable.
this in this app, you know.
Yeah. No, that's undeniable. That reminds me of when I was in a cemetery and I asked the question was, uh, can you tell me your name? Like the same question that everybody asked in the
Right.
cemetery. Can you tell me your name? And I got a reply. And this is actually up on my YouTube page somewhere. I got a reply, and it wasn't just a name. Can you tell me your name? And then it said Ben or something like that. There's a whole sentence, and it says, "Yes, my name is Robert Bent," or something. I can't, what the last Bentley or Bent or Bend or something like that. But very clearly, he says, "Yes, my name is Robert Bent." So, like, you have that same kind of clarification where you had it say one thing and then clarify it with justify it or whatever the right word would be for the other reply.
Right. Well, I've had a lot of people, why do you use apps and things like that? Well, I don't like the PSB7 and all that for the static
No.
noise. It drives me, it gives me a headache.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but to sit there and I tell people this story, and I said, this was, this 7 years ago when I bought this and everything.
Mhm.
There's no way Big Beard Danny could create the date and time that I would ask this question or a response in there that would activate that answer because my papa stuttered because he had a stroke at the end of his life and stuff.
Yeah.
And when he said, Butch, then I took that recording because I recorded on a digital recorder, took it to my older brother and sister, and I said, you got to listen to this and tell me what you think. And I heard it, and their mouths dropped and said, that's Papa's voice. How did you get that voice? And I told them. So I got validation not only through that, through my experience, through my brother and sister at the same time.
Right. Well, I honestly think the whole field of, I'm just going to say EVPs, not ITC or anything like that. It's too, a little too broad, but just EVP. I mean, they've been happening since we started recording stuff. And even though I'm not active in the paranormal field at all right now,
Right.
I experience digital abnormalities all the time. Uh, all the time when I have to record something, whether it be for music or a video for something else, they will sneak a voice into it. Um, and I think there's one on my YouTube as well that's which is just Big Beard Audio. To anybody that doesn't know, uh, it is uh, the I'm losing myself in the thought here. Basically what I'm trying to say is that the phenomenon of EVP has been around since we started recording, and now we're so far advanced that it seems like a no-brainer that you know the telephone to the dead, for lack of a better term, or maybe that's the best term,
Best term.
is where we're at. You know what I mean? We're getting close to it.
Right. I mean,
That's
it's
why
a
I'm trying to
lot.
do new apps right now.
Yeah, you just came out with a new app, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But what got you into creating the very first app?
Well, I hurt myself. I blew out the meniscus in one of my knees, and I was
Mm-hmm.
bedridden for weeks. And if anybody's been bedridden, it's boring. You get very bored. Um, so I was watching all these ghost hunting shows, and they were using all these ghost boxes. And I was like, oh, well, that seems like a neat thing to do, to go out somewhere spooky and run one of these radio things. And then I thought to myself, well, I could never afford that, because I was quite destitute at the time. I didn't have any money really, especially being out of work because my leg had exploded. And I picked up my phone, which was an Android, and this is back, this is like getting to be 11 years ago or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, picked up my phone and opened the Play Store and was gonna, did a search for a Ghostbox app, and there was nothing there. The only thing that existed was Spud Pickles' Ghost Radar. That was the only
Right.
thing that had anything to do with the paranormal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know
And
what
he's
gets me?
just
Danny, what got me was when I heard that some people actually use that for
Yeah.
ghost hunting.
oh yeah, people did for sure.
Yeah.
People probably
That's
still
true.
do.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I realized that there was nothing there, and I was like, well, I got to make something. I didn't even know anything about making Android programs or anything, except for at the time I was making these these files for another piece of software that was music software. I was making expansion packs for that, but that was like real simple programming, and it wasn't anything to it really. And I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. So I pieced together parts, and somebody from Reddit actually helped me piece it all together. And I came out with the first one that was the SV1 Spirit Box. And then there was the whole evolution of from that app to the next app to doing a real-time recorder app to the real-time recorder app turned into another app, and then that became EchoVox, like the first version of EchoVox. So it was kind of this evolution. It all happened really quick too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it did. I mean, when I bought the EchoBox 3, I looked back through and I've got several of your other apps too that we use because when you're investigating, you don't rely on just one app. You have to see if you can get the same response from different ones. But what I really like about the EchoBox 3
Right.
is there are no words built into the program. That's correct,
No.
isn't it?
But not if you're in Bank A. You know, because if you're in Bank A, there's a bunch of basic words. It says bird, you know, something like
don't
that.
use
I
Bank
couldn't
A.
rattle it off.
Yeah, we don't use that. I didn't even know that.
No, we use Bank B.
Yeah, and Bank B was the evolution of Bank A. So Bank B was actually made using sessions with Bank A in it, but it ends up so chopped up and everything that there's nothing left of the actual sessions in there. It just became noise. And Bank B always was the most effective.
It is. And what was really cool was Denise and Ron were tour guides at the Sally House for 7 years, I believe.
Oh,
Is that
okay.
right? Okay, I went up and helped them for a year and
I
stuff.
think I've been
Man,
there.
Yeah,
up
you
in
will.
the Atchison.
Yeah, he's been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
I
been there.
remember when you went. Wasn't it with Rick Rose? Isn't that when you went up there?
Did you go up with Rick Rose?
Oh, did we lose him?
Well,
Did I lose you, Danny?
Yeah, I think we lost him.
well, we'll come back.
He'll come back in.
Yeah, he'll be back. So, and
You,
Christopher,
you broke up on.
Okay.
So-
Did you go to the Sally House with Rick Rose?
we did lose
We
him.
lost him. He'll come back. There he is.
There he-
Yeah. Now can
Yeah,
you hear
cell
us?
phone.
Yeah, he's on his cell phone.
Yeah.
Can you hear
Hello,
me?
T- Yeah,
Yes.
can you hear us?
Yeah,
hear
now
me?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I just was seeing spinning circles.
Oh, that's
Okay.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we asked was when you went to Sally House, you went with Rick Rose, didn't you?
No, I don't think so. And I think I might be confusing the Sally House with another place.
It's in Atchison,
I'm
Kansas.
not sure if I. No, I didn't go
I
there.
could've swore-
Never
I
mind.
could have
Okay.
swore you did, but how
No,
we got
I was supposed to
exposed-
like three times. I was like supposed to go there like 3 times and with different groups and never did.
Something happened, right?
every time.
Yeah. Shit
Yeah,
happened.
that's normal.
Yeah. So actually, we were really good friends with Rick Rose, and I know that there was some animosity with him and you at one point. But if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have known about your app because he used it all the time. The Echo Vox and the Dark Vox. He loved your apps.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he used it at Malvern Manor, at Sally House, at any place that we went,
yeah.
he would use it.
He-
And he would use it at home. And there was this one time he was on it, and this is just a funny thing. He lived by Shrine Park. There was this graveyard right by his house. and he would call this, this spirit would come through, and he called him Shrine Park Dude.
Yeah.
And he was this spirit was an asshole, and he would treat Rick like treat him horribly.
Yeah, it was funny.
But every time we drive by that in Leavenworth, Kansas, we would laugh because no matter what, if it wasn't for your Echo Box, we wouldn't have been laughing about something every time we went by there. I mean, I know that doesn't sound like an Echo Box story, but it is. It makes us laugh, and it makes us think about friends that have passed.
Right.
So I want to thank you for that, for making that memory for us.
Well, you're very welcome.
But
we have lots.
We have lots of memories with Echo Box.
Or we have a lot of memories. Me and Ron do, especially.
Oh yeah,
we was at Sally House up there, and he had Echo Box on his tablet. I had it on my phone, and we were in the same room, and the two Echo Boxes started talking to each other.
Yeah, they'll do that. They start talking.
We didn't know that. It was an accident. I think I was in there, and then you came in, and you just happened to have it on, and they just started talking.
Yeah, we called it Dueling Echo Box.
It was fun.
We did that stuff. I remember. We did some experiments. Me and my buddy Jeff, we did that a few times where we had more than one running.
Yeah, it's amazing how they talk back and forth to each other. On there.
And you don't just get English either. We've got Spanish, German, and Japanese.
Sure, I've gotten a lot of French. I used to have an angry French spirit that used to swear at me.
Well, what about the time I was at the Sally House in the basement with a group of people, and the young lady walked in with that guy?
Yeah.
Right? There was a black gentleman standing there with her. And I'm doing an Echo Box session with all these people down there. And they're getting, it's telling names and all this and that. And she goes, there's no way it'll say his name. He's from Africa. And I went, okay, can you tell me the gentleman that's standing on the wall, his name? And we're sitting there a little bit, and that Echo Box said something, and the lady went, oh my God, it said his name. His first name.
It was.
She goes, it won't get his last name. It's a mile long.
Yeah.
And as soon as she said that, it came out. And it's on a YouTube video on CC Paranormal Team on YouTube at the Sally House. I mean, that right there, that whole group of people.
Left.
Yeah. Well, just like Ron, tell him about the ladies in the basement at the Sally House you had the experience with the Echo Box. With the kid.
I had about 20-some people down there, and they were just asking questions. I said, go ahead and ask questions. This kid, he's about 12, 13 years old. He sits down in the chair. He starts asking, he goes, what's my dad's name? And it says Robert. And he turns around and looks, and he goes, and I said, is that his name? And his dad's eyes got real big, and he goes, how did you do that? I said, I didn't do anything. Your kid asked a question that just said it. And he goes, I'll do it again. I said, go ahead. The kid says, what's my dad's name again? And it says Robert. And he goes, oh, no way. And everybody starts laughing. And I mean, the guy's freaking out. He's starting to get a little agitated. Well, the kid's, he's laughing. He's having fun. He thinks it's funny. And everybody down there is laughing. And about that time, these three older ladies come down the steps. And just kind of gruff looking, they just look mad. I don't know. Anyway, the last one, she comes down, she's got her arms folded and a sneer on her face. She goes, so what are you doing down here? And I mean, you can see that the air just left the room. Yeah, I mean, literally. Everybody just kind of looked like, and they all had that look like, what are they doing down here? Get them out of here. And I said, well, we're doing an Echo Box session. I explained it to her, and she goes, we don't believe in this stuff. And everybody kind of looks around like, then what the hell are you doing in a haunted house? You know, if you don't believe in this, just go away. Everybody got real quiet. Well, the kid asked a question. The Echo Vox, nothing. It's not saying a word. It was active as all get out before they came down. And I ended up shutting the Echo Vox off, restarting it, set everything back up. I started asking questions. I asked the kid to ask questions. We couldn't get a thing to pop up. And I thought, well, man, this thing's not working. It's broke. So I said, well, I'll have to look at it later. And about that time, the two other ladies start walking up the steps, and the one that had her arms crossed, she goes, well, we're leaving. And I mean, everybody kind of looked real fast, like, oh, good. You know, I had that look on their face. You could just tell they didn't like the ladies. Nobody did. So they start walking up the steps, and the old grumpy one, she's the last one. She gets about to the top of the steps. All of a sudden, the Echo Vox pops on. You know what it said? Bye, bitches. I mean, everybody fell down laughing. The kid is staring right at, I'm looking right at him when it says it. He points at it and just laughs. He just falls on the ground. His dad said, yeah, son, that's what it said.
Wow.
And it started talking again. As soon as they left, it did not like them down there.
Yeah, it didn't like them.
It was hilarious.
Hey, Danny, we have a couple of questions for you from
Oh,
Christopher James. And
Sure.
he says, let's see if I can get this to go. Hey, it's not sure. Carl, there it goes.
Okay.
He says, darn it.
I saw it. Am I related to a
Christopher
pro
says,
water skier? No.
He's not related.
water skier. Well, his name was Carl, so I just didn't want Christopher to think that we weren't paying attention to him. And he also
Well, I gotta
asked,
tell him-
are you part
I gotta
French?
tell him something. Am I part French? Well, my family was French Canadian, I guess, a couple generations. So not me though. I'm a northern boy, but I could tell him Duval. I know what that.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
probably know what
Yeah,
that
but-
is.
Yep. Got to watch hockey for that, right?
No.
No,
it's
oh, that's
football.
right. That's the county down there.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Jaguar.
So
Right.
down there, it's not down there anymore.
Oh,
It's over.
right.
It's over there now.
Jacksonville is a county. It's so big that it is a county. The city
Well,
is a
that's-
county.
So
I haven't been there in a while.
I was trying to figure out how big this area is that we live in, and I looked it up. Escambia County and Santa Rosa County, we live in Santa Rosa, both of them have less people than Johnson County, Missouri, or Kansas. Yeah. 500,000 people in these two counties, but over 600,000 in Johnson County, Kansas, which is Overland Park and all that. So we moved, and the town that we used to live in had approximately 5,000 people in it, and this town has approximately 10,000 people. But yet it has everything you could possibly want within 5 miles, where we had to go 20 miles to get to anything.
Everywhere before, we had to add a half hour to it. Anything we had to do, you had to add a half hour to it. And now it's really weird because, we need to run down to the store. And then you're looking like, or 5 minutes away, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different.
We haven't
Not used to it.
Yeah, we haven't lived in a city in about 25 years.
But you don't feel like you're in the city. I mean, we're just pretty much surrounded by, woods. And then you'll have houses and then woods.
And bears. We have bears.
And most of the streets have no outlets. They're dead ends. So
is that the
really
same in
go anywhere.
Jacksonville? Is it the same there that it seems like every other road is a dead end?
No.
No, Jacksonville's different.
Oh, so they planned Jacksonville. Where we live, they didn't plan it. They just said, we're going to put a bunch of houses here.
Yeah.
Go down the street, and there's going to be a lot of woods, and then they go, we're going to put a lot of houses here. It's like everything was an afterthought here. We have a hospital 2 miles down the road, and no gas stations until after the hospital. It's like, okay, so it's funny. I mean, just getting used to all this is just strange, but it'll be fine. In fact, we'll probably be coming through Jacksonville at some point to see family over in Volusia County,
Very cool.
or to go on OP Live. Gotta do that. Gotta go meet the cops over there. They seem like really good people. So, but when did you move to Florida, Danny?
Oh, I've been in Florida for 6-7 years.
Mhm.
I thought, I think when I found, we used to be friends on Facebook a long time ago. And I thought you were up north then. Were you?
Yeah, no, I haven't been up north for like 10 years.
Okay. Well then,
9
no.
years.
I get mixed up really easy with people. I know so many people by so many names that they all kind of blend together. So
No worry.
So when you created the app, you said that it was mostly because you saw that there was no other apps out there. Was there what thought was in your head when you started selling a bunch of your apps? I mean, did they just sell right off the bat, or did you have to?
Well, it started selling. It was 99 cents, and I'd be like, at the time, because I don't like look at my sales at all. I'll just look at a monthly. But at the time, I would be checking like throughout the day to see what I was selling or whatever. And when it started to look like I didn't have a job because my leg had exploded, and we had moved out. Me and my girlfriend at the time had moved out of the apartment we were in and went and lived in a tent out in the woods.
I think
yeah, we did that to save some money. We did that to save some money, and it was hot summer or whatever. I'll stay in a tent for a few weeks and save some money. And while I was out there, I thought I was going to have to go find a new job so I could save some money. But I luckily I didn't have to. The app was just 99 cents, was selling like halfway decent, and like there was nothing to compete with either. So it was pretty easy.
That's right, because basically everybody calls you the godfather of the paranormal apps, because you're the one that started all these apps out here, basically.
Well, I think anybody that's paying attention would have to say that, especially the echo thing. That's one thing that I really like take pride in was the night that I figured out the echo. Because it seems like it was always there, but nobody did it.
Right.
All it is a real-time recording. Out in your atmosphere, and it does something. It does something. It does something to the molecules in the air and the cells in your body.
Well, that's why we liked it, because you can interact right away. A lot of people getting EVP recordings, they're getting stuff, but they can't hear it until they get home and then review it. That's no good. Right. What good did that do?
Right. Yeah, that's why the real-time stuff was way better. When I found out about real-time, I was stoked. I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And then just one night, like 4 o'clock in the morning, I plugged the speaker in. What came out was insane, So I wasn't expecting.
We've taken it to places where it's never even been used before. We'll go in there. We don't know what's in there. We just start asking random questions. We'll start getting reactions. The next thing you know, we got a crowd around us, and they're all asking questions.
Yeah, for sure.
But
would always draw a
everyone else
crowd
is hearing everything.
And like we always
they're
tell
getting
everybody, you have
interaction
to have
when they
an
get involved.
external speaker.
Yeah.
Don't use the speaker on your phone just like it is to record. Use an external
know.
speaker.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do
It's the
that.
same
It just helps you hear better.
So
Yeah.
you say you've
Plus
been
it'll
out of
just-
the paranormal field for quite a while. What made you get back in and build this new app?
Progression, I guess, was because the last Echovox update started to like change its back end, its audio engine and stuff. And the problem I have with Echovox is they say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So whenever I do an update for it, it's really just like the most minimal update I can possibly get away with, and to keep it so it's updated. I don't want to change anything too much because people have been using it for 10 years. They're used to it a certain way. I can't just throw out a whole new thing. So that leads me to I have to do another line. I can't have the Echovox line just be Echovox 4 and have that be a separate app, and leave Echovox 3 alone and have Echovox Classic too. I can't repeat myself that much.
Right.
So, like Spirit Trap, Spirit Trap, Spirit Talk. Spirit Trap is an old app of mine, using light and stuff. But Spirit Talk, my newest app, the back end, everything behind what you see is totally different from all the other apps, in the way that it takes the file to use for your sound bank, for example, to the way that I built the sound banks. And the sound banks I think are nuts. And I turned the thing on just testing it, and right away I usually just say hello when I turn something on. I say hello, hi, right away. Turn it on again, maybe a half hour later. Hello, hi, man and a woman. So, oh yeah, you holding it up there? I see it.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's pretty effective because it's built on what I learned from Echovox. What frequencies work good. See, yeah, you guys can all see it there in the window.
Yeah, that's your newest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get
I try
my
to keep
screen to look
everything
out of.
clean. I'm into
this
stuff
cat.
that looks clean. I don't want to do stuff with like lots of like skulls and morbid imagery,
Right.
anything like that on it. I just want stuff to look like a research tool almost. And then I'm going to drop this news here, but there's going to be another new app, and it's going to do something that people have been asking me for since day one. I'm not going to say what that is.
Right.
But it's going to be like a mega app. Mega.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations on how to set your settings on your new app, Spirit Talk?
I personally have not experimented too far out of the settings, but I will tell you, I've been messing with the EQ.
Equalizer.
Okay.
I wonder if I can open it up.
Hey, Facebook user, if you'd share your name, we can talk to you as instead of Facebook user. So, but hi from Florida.
Well, Paula, there are apps out there that show words on the screen, but they're built-in words.
Right.
They have
That's
a
the bad
microphone
part.
usually built into that.
Yeah, people have been asking me to do one of those apps for a million years.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Didn't we?
The obelisk, we know
Didn't we
there's
use
a
your phone
microphone in it
to like
that locates your
translate
location
what
and
it
picks up words.
was here?
Yeah, I did use my phone as a translator. But you can use the translator
Oh,
app
that's
too.
cool.
Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah, I've seen that done before. It's pretty cool.
That's for Polly. She could actually see it. I mean, some people have, their hearing may not be as good. We're kind of used to it, and it's not like a spirit box where it's just making a ton of noise and you can't hear
Okay,
anything.
Paula.
It's
Yeah, use a translator.
I'm just used to it. I can hear stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Paula, use a translator app by your Echo Box
Yep.
or whatever.
Yeah, it worked pretty good.
And let it run. It'll come up with words. Just like
Yeah.
you're watching this show right now. If I was running Echo Box, put your closed caption chats on there. You'd be surprised
Yep.
what Facebook algorithm picks up that comes out of the Echo Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use
Oh,
closed
sure.
captioning a lot when we listen to shows and stuff like that because sometimes there's stuff that comes through that we can't hear.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we get EVPs from the shows. It's really very
Right.
strange.
Oh, definitely. I've heard of that. Like people getting on their podcasts. Just it happens. But that's like
Oh,
what I was saying earlier. Is it happens no matter what you do.
Mhm.
Right.
It's the paranormal field is open to all different things. You never know what's going to happen.
So, how much is your Spirit Talk app?
$7.99.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, that's piece of cake.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
I kept it down. I kept it down to under $10 for that one, and I feel like it's not as robust of an app as Echo Box is or something.
Right.
But it
I've
is.
seen it.
I mean,
I seen it when you popped it up on Facebook that it's out on Play Store. I went right to the Play Store and bought it and everything to
Right.
see and try it. And I've had some pretty good luck with it here the last couple of days here where I usually do things to test them.
Oh, nice.
And it's doing real good.
Take it out to the Cox Cemetery, Carl.
I'm getting ready to. See, that's a place there. Echo Box or any apps have never been used at our old cemetery that we take care of until we started taking care of it. And we have gotten all kinds of voices out there. And it's an old cemetery.
Nice.
Now, are you still doing your music?
Have you met the?
What, Dan?
These days, not really. So.
But what was you saying before?
Oh, I was going to say in the new app there, if you get a chance, should mess around with the higher recording, the kilohertz.
Uh-huh.
In the recording settings.
Right.
The default is whatever your microphone it defaults at, basically. So probably like 44 or 48. But you can go up to 96,000 or something like that, which changes everything because as far as I know, there's no other app that lets you run an echo with that type of bit. It's not a bit rate, but it's hertz.
Right.
And it's going to give you these frequencies. So it's going to capture more of the frequencies. Whereas the other side of the coin is that I've also gotten some really incredible responses, really low, like turning the thing way down to 8 kilohertz, down all the way to the lowest setting. Because Echo Box, that's how it runs. The Echo Box Classic actually runs horrible recording settings, terrible, on purpose, of course, because that's where a lot of the noise comes from.
Yeah, we found to not use the recording on the Echo Box, but use a separate recorder.
Right.
A good
Yep.
digital one.
Yeah.
Paula, the only thing I want to tell you is if you do get an app for your granddaughter, make sure that she doesn't use it at home. Use it anywhere outside the house. Don't investigate your own home. Period. Don't
Yeah,
investigate where
yeah.
you.
You don't want to mess. You don't want to mess with that.
No.
Take
No.
it from me. Yeah, take it from me. I remember. I used to do stuff in my house all the time, in a few of my houses, and and one of them, I was going into my daughter's room, and it was like maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, and I heard some rustling down the hall. So I went down there, and when I opened the door, I heard the scraping of nails on the floor, like it went under her crib. And I was like, oh, hell no. And it's my kid, though, so I dropped down on the floor to see all I thought was a dog got in the house or cat got in the house or didn't make any sense. And there was nothing there. Nothing. And I'll go to my grave swearing that I heard. It sounded like when a dog takes off on a wooden floor and they can't get their traction.
Yeah.
It was that sound right in front of me at the door. That was that house was crazy.
Yeah. I suggest all the time that people don't investigate their own homes, and don't let another paranormal investigator come in and investigate your home either, unless there's a reason you need it done.
Yeah.
Just don't go out there and do that. I mean, you're asking for trouble.
Well, you're
right
using
now,
the word
we investigate our backyard. We want to find out if Bigfoot's hanging out back there.
Yeah.
All the bent trees. They're all bent.
But then I see the other side of the coin is people are like, because if I have to test something, I come out on my porch, and it's like I'm sure some supernatural force can get through the wall or the window or the door or whatever. Like it's kind of silly at the end of the day, but it still makes me feel better.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Hey, Bart.
I mean, come on. You know who had a great theory on all this was Scott Grunwald. He had this theory about how we all have our phones with us so much, and our phones are so important to us, and
Except
keep
for
them
me.
on us all the time. And well, most people keep them on us all the time, and people are really like addicted and attached to their devices. And he was saying like maybe some of that soul kind of seeps into the inanimate object. So when you put something on it, like Echovox or something like that, you can manipulate it.
It could be. It very well could be. Like I said.
Who the hell knows?
Exactly. Who knows?
It did make a difference on where we used the Echo Box. If there were some places we got just outstanding results. I mean, that thing would just constantly go. There were other places, like really old ones, where it just didn't work. I don't know if the spirits were just afraid, they didn't know what it was, and didn't want to, react to it. They just didn't.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Like McPike Mansion, I never could get anything there. Never did.
You could with Jerome now.
Mid 1800s, yeah, could now.
Yeah, I've had some dud sessions for sure.
Yeah. We got a question here from Dennis. He asks, "Does the use of different kilohertz help with analysis of the audio?"
I think it would help in the respect that the audio is deeper, so there might be more to it to review. So I'm not really sure. That's a tough question, Mr. Dennis.
And then Dennis also has a comment. All of us doing this research, yet no one can get a factual response on how they do what they do to communicate with us, how the spirits talk to us. And I really wish that we could get something factual. All we have is
We're not allowed.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to. I'm pretty convinced that whatever universe we live in, there's some sort of rules, and they're allowed to use Echovox because Echovox gives them plausible deniability. Somebody can always say, "Oh, that's bullshit," and the same thing goes for any other paranormal thing, device, whatever. Somebody can always discount it. So it's that's really what it is they can't just appear before you and say, "Here I am, I'm a ghost, boo," and like it's against the rules. They're not allowed. It's not physically. It's like me just deciding that I want to melt through the cement that I'm standing on right now. I can't do that. I can't just melt through some cement. It's not the rules of physics in this universe don't allow me to do that. So it's kind of like the same thing as they have their own rules, and they're allowed to mess around with us. They're allowed to torture us. They're allowed to interfere. They're allowed to make us happy, but they're not allowed to tell us who they are, or where they come from, or what the hell they're doing, or any of that stuff.
And Dennis, I agree.
Period.
I think there's rebellious ones out there that want to know the same answers that we're seeking and vice versa. But, I find it strange that some of the paranormal investigators that have passed on before us haven't come to us to tell us what we're seeking. Why is that? But that is a whole other conversation on why, we don't
What
know.
about all my dead users? What about all my dead users?
Right.
What about all my dead users?
Right.
I have users that are dead. I mean, that's the way it works out.
Right.
And some of them I know that they used it and they're dead, and some of them I just statistically that they're dead.
Yeah.
And where are they? They're not popping into Echovox sessions saying, "Hey, I'm over here."
I wish maybe that's the thing. Maybe I need to go someplace. Maybe I need to run over to Daytona and bring my Echovox and call Rick Rose there and say, "Hey, come talk to me now."
But
it's his favorite.
They may talk to you, but they can't tell you what's going on and how they do it.
How do we know that they can't?
I'm like Danny there on that point. There's rules they have to abide by. They can talk, but they can't be talking about this.
Well, it is strange. I gave my mom a word to tell me. Just never said it. Just never said it. And the thing is it's not a hard word. I mean, think about this.
She might not be allowed to. She might not be allowed to say it.
Right. I mean, think
Bye,
about.
Dennis.
Go back.
Dennis.
The show Supernatural. They had a key word. It was called Poughkeepsie. If they said that word, that was something important to them. They knew something was up. Why? How come that doesn't work for real? It's just one of those things that makes you guess why, how. One time on Ghost Adventures, there was this woman who had done the same thing, gave a key word, and it came up on Ghost Adventures, but not when they were talking to that woman, just to the Ghost Adventures crew, not to the woman who had set it up. Maybe my mom's using that word with everybody but me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them out there. That's why I say the paranormal field, nobody really knows anything about it that much. It's still an open investigation type deal. because we're not going to know until we pass, basically.
And will we? I mean, we will pass. Will we
Yeah.
know?
Well, there's spirits that come
Right.
through the echo box in different ways and different other
Oh,
things.
yeah.
So I don't know.
So, Danny, do you have any apps you'd like to create that you haven't already created?
I mean, I have ideas for things, but they're honestly the platform of Android or iPhone for that matter. They have the technology is not there yet to do what I want to do, like with sensors and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that maybe that will change in the future or something. So, but right now I'm concentrating on audio stuff, audio apps.
Well, I look forward to testing out Spirit Talk
Did you hear?
at the local graveyard here in Milton, the oldest cemetery in the panhandle of Florida. See if we can find something out there.
Cool.
There's a lot of
You haven't been out there yet.
no, there's been a
I drive right
I
by.
know that there's a lot of Creek deaths here. Creek Indians. I know about that.
Okay.
I know about there was a lot of pirates and stuff like that over here as well in Pensacola. And so I haven't had a chance to explore anything yet. I've just been
Sick.
dying, busy digging out of the big hole of moving. So, and of course, everybody knows how that sucks.
I do have some good news about moving down here. My allergy symptoms immediately went away as soon as I got down here.
Good.
I mean, none. Gone. I haven't taken a Zyrtec since I've been here. Don't need to.
Me, on the other hand, I've been taking them every day.
Nah, it's not because of your allergies.
Yeah, not because of allergies, though. Just because it's handy to have.
So whatever was back in Kansas, that messed me up. Something in that field, I think.
Not the deer. Not the deer.
No.
Not the deer.
Whatever was in that field, or in my yard, I don't know.
So,
Y'all got any more questions for me, or should I sign off?
I do have a question for you. You said
Shoot.
that you haven't been involved in the paranormal for a while. Do you
Mhm.
plan on getting involved again with the paranormal?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know to what degree.
Okay. Have you? When was the last time you investigated?
Oh, like officially, I guess probably about 8 years ago or something like that. I used to go to this. I used to go to this little cemetery in Puerto Rico, and do Echo Box there. Look for Spanish replies.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, at least-
which I
So you said Spanish replies, not Spanish flies.
no, yeah, Spanish replies.
It's
That was
just-
probably the last time. About 8-9 years ago.
Okay. So where you live in Jacksonville, if there was a place that you were going to investigate, where would it be there?
St. Augustine.
Yeah, probably St. Augustine. I would probably go down there. It's only about 45 minutes away from where I live, so
Yeah.
it's easy to go down there.
That's a neat city.
That's one of the places I
Yeah,
want.
Yeah, we definitely got to take you there.
just don't go there in the summertime.
Oh,
Right.
lots of tourists.
It's a lot. No, well, it's a lot of walking and it's hot as hell. So
Oh, well,
there's
we're finding
shade.
that
Right.
we were teasing people that we left Kansas because it's 110 in the summer and minus 10 in the winter. I guess it's still 110 here. It's just not -10 in the winter.
No.
Oh, the winters are awesome. Winters in Florida are awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So, and
Yeah, we never said I can't wait for winter.
no,
Ever.
no,
Right.
ever.
Right.
Never.
And Bart, I have torn apart an Echo Vox, and that's how
Yeah.
I knew that there were no words built into the parts that we
Yep.
use.
Good luck.
So I know
Exactly.
I'm pretty good with code. I can read it. I can't always write it, but I can always read it. Reading it is
Yeah.
a lot easier than writing it sometimes. So, because I mean, I do AI for a living.
Good. Cool.
So I talk about your app a lot on our shows, and so we promote it quite frequently
Oh yeah.
because of what I knew about how it was written.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, it's worked the best for us. I mean, we've tried other ones. It's just the Echo Vox is, that's the A
And
game.
it's dumb. And it's dumb. It doesn't have a brain. That's the
Right.
thing. When I first came out, people were like, "Oh, it uses some kind of AI." Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it doesn't. It's really like an MP3 player on shuffle.
Yeah.
It's really
Exactly.
like-
You don't need the internet to run it.
yeah.
No. It doesn't. We don't run it on internet.
Yeah.
It's not locking in on the location or anything.
Yeah, we have location settings turned off.
Yeah.
Right.
We have.
Never have used.
Yeah, the only time
Yeah.
only time it's on internet is at our house when we're refreshing it.
Right.
So
Well, Danny,
thank you, Christopher. We'll
thank
check
you
that
for
out.
coming on, and tell everybody where they can find you and find your apps.
Oh yeah.
Well, the best bet these days, I would say, would just be to go to the Google Play Store on your Android device and just type in Big Beard Studios or Echo Vox. Big Beard Studios will take you to all my apps. If you have an iPhone, you can go to the Apple Store and just search for Echo Vox and it'll come up. And my new app there, Spirit Talk, is also available on Google Play for $7.99.
Right.
We'll,
Right.
we'll be
Yeah,
getting
hope y'all
that
enjoy it.
pretty soon.
Well, thank you very much for coming on Paranormal Nation Radio, Danny, and good luck in
Thanks
all
for
the
having me.
adventures and everything. Yeah, if you ever want to come back, just contact me and stuff, because we use a lot of your apps on this show a lot of times.
Oh yeah.
Just let me know.
Okay. Thank you. You have a great evening, Danny.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
Danny.
Have
much.
a good.
Good night.
Bye-bye, guys.
Good night.
So hopefully everybody, that was Danny Roberge there, known as Big Beard on Big Beard Studios in the Play Store. Like I said, I call him the grandfather of all the paranormal apps because he's the one that created the real first working app.
So, hey, Christopher, we want to check out the lighthouse in St. Augustine without the benefit of Ghost Hunters' really bad review of it. It was horrible when they had it on the second time. But yeah, that's been one of the places that I've wanted to go to for years. All of our kids want to go over to the Pensacola Lighthouse. But right now online it says that you have to be escorted.
It's hard to get in. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be escorted there from somebody who is got access to the base.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just don't take their tour. Thank
No,
you.
we won't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So but yeah, the Pensacola Lighthouse. I haven't gotten in touch with Rob yet. It's like, why? It's kind of hard to get in touch with people when you don't feel good and you can't go, oh, well, I'll call you when I'm feeling better. I'd rather as well wait and call them when I feel better. And because, more than likely that'll be the better time for them to go as well. Plus with all the rain that they've gotten downtown.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to do much of anything. Hey, Tammy.
You look like you're feeling good.
Oh, she's moving around pretty good.
Yeah.
Walking with a cane.
Yeah, but she's moving around good.
Okay, just a second.
So, well, we're not going to be able to hear them. But yeah, if there's any place, Christopher, that you think that we need to check out here in Florida, let us know. We're still trying to learn what's in our environment here. So far, we've been by the Imogene Theater that's over here in Milton a couple times. We haven't been to the beach again yet. Been too tired, too much work, but been enjoying the rain every day though. So
Okay. Yeah.
so how'd her doctor visit go?
They canceled it. The next one is July the 8th. He didn't want to. All he had was some information on her blood work. He wants the PET scan done. And they haven't done that yet. They got it set for July 8th.
Okay.
So we're waiting on that. But she is getting around a lot better instead of with the walker and stuff. Now with a cane and stuff to help hold her up.
Well, she looked like she was feeling better.
Yeah.
She's feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
Not near as much pain and everything. I got rid of the big wide low chair that she was in and got her a recliner and stuff now to where she can kick back and relax a little bit easier and easier to get out of.
So get the weight off.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because I was really concerned when you guys were at the house. I know that, our house wasn't very comfortable with no furniture.
Hey, that was no problem. It was great to see you guys before you left our area.
Well, those chairs found a new home somewhere in Lewisburg.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, we didn't have room.
So you left them in the house?
No, I put them up for rehoming outside, and somebody took them.
We left them outside with the bike and some other stuff, and a neighbor thought we had already left.
Which bike?
The green one, the white and green one, but the one with the basket.
You should have told me that. I would have brought it up here.
Well, we didn't know. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
This was last minute.
Yeah, we thought we were gonna have room, but they just kept adding stuff and adding.
Well,
I didn't know they had all this.
It was stuff that they needed, and so basically, some stuff got left.
They had
We ended up having a trailer.
30, 40 boxes and bags of clothes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they've only been, it looked like, I felt like I was moving a clothing store. I had no idea they had that many clothes. I don't know why you would.
Now, Tyler stayed back with the puppies, right?
Nope.
No, they're here.
You got the puppies down there?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
17-hour drive.
Oh.
Because we had to stop. Yep.
Oh.
Cat got sick. One of them.
Now, has he found a job?
No, Leah did. So did Lauren.
Really?
Yep. Lauren starts next week. I've got a few.
I just put in a referral for Ron for
a
job with Century.
I'm saying I'm putting in for companies that I want to work for. I don't have a ton of stuff out there right now. But then I thought about, she said something about there's opening at her company, and I thought, hell, I can do that. Field tech job.
Oh, that would fit right in that'd fit right into your deal.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I said. I said, I don't know why I didn't think of putting in, lumen anyway. Oh yeah, we're loving it.
I went to Walmart the other day.
Yeah.
I made a sticker up and had it, and as we was checking out, we walked by the Coinstar.
Yeah.
I stuck it on the Coinstar.
Oh, you did?
Sadly missing Ron.
You know what? I know they are.
I was like, somebody's going to see that and go, "Oh crap!"
Yeah,
well.
I know they are, because I know the guys that had to come in and do that. I know they're mad as hell.
Oh, I'll bet.
The one guy had to drive from Indiana. He's going to have to cover my area. Yeah.
Oh God,
Oh, yeah.
he had to move down here or what?
No, he's got to drive every
Hmm.
week. Unless they can get the guy from Springfield, and that's not going to be all the time. So,
My God,
and they had to install those 18 price choppers.
good for them.
Yeah, that was the last week. I didn't do it that week. I was out of there.
So, but you got all the kids down there with you now, except for one that's still out in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep. And she said something about moving to Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, Angela,
Possible.
we are loving Florida, and I hope you're doing well. So I do miss Emily, though. Do miss Emily. I only cried about leaving my hairdresser.
Yeah.
But it was because my hairdresser is a friend of my daughter's, you know. And so it was kind of like, and I met Emily in Florida. I met her in Panama City Beach
Oh,
when we
really?
were there for Lacey's wedding all
Yeah.
those years ago. And we've just been thick as thieves ever since. You know, her and my mom, my sister, you know, she became part of our family. And it just, I didn't cry about anything other than that. And I'm like, that's weird. Why would I cry about that? You know, but I did, and I know that she wants to come down. She'll come down when Lacey's here or something sometime. But
Right.
and Angela, I hope that you are doing really well. And I missed talking to you at Salon Z when we were there. So
So, how's Ruby and Clover like the backyard?
they love being able to just go outside and play. We've got their water table set up there. We'll probably be getting their swing set put up here soon because we need to get it out of the garage.
Yeah.
We got a really good
That's the
place
main reason.
we got a really good place to put it right back between the trees. I think that's a good place. And
Oh, great. Another thing to cut around.
well, I mean, it's just 4 little legs. I mean, it's not as bad as the legs on the swing set we had. But yeah, it'll be great for them to be able to play because our yard is probably about 60% shaded, which is nice. But and like right now,
Yeah,
it's really dark out there right now.
we're not
It's getting ready
really
to rain
don't
again.
get hit with the sun.
Oh,
No.
good.
North or
And
south
I know
side of
you,
the house.
like I said, you drove down there with little tornado and everything. There's been some weather going through that panhandle lately that usually don't go through it.
No,
Right.
it doesn't. It usually that's in January, February time frame, not usually this time frame. That's what they were all saying.
Yeah.
These are, I mean, some of these thunderstorms we've had, it's you can't see if you're driving. But luckily, we've only had one where we were driving. But the worst part is the fog at night from the
Oh,
humidity.
really?
Yeah, when we drove, all of us, when any of us came in, coming from Alabama to here, we got in really thick fog. Our windows all fogged up, really, really bad. I would assume that yours was probably the worst in the truck.
It wasn't that bad.
Mine, Lauren said that hers was really bad, and the kids said that they had trouble seeing. But they go, luckily for us, no one's on the road
I
at
don't
3
know
o'clock
what you
in the
guys
morning.
had your settings at. I didn't have any problem.
Mine were fine as long as I kept it on.
Yeah.
So
And it looks like you may have some more coming through in the next couple of days. I know it's going to get bad in Mississippi and Alabama. I've seen on a weather.
Oh yeah, they
forecast.
usually get it.
we
Oh,
Yeah, I mean you can see it. It's starting to build up a little bit right now, but
temperature's already dropped. It's down to 89.
really?
Yeah.
it seems like it'll build up and then it'll get a little sunny and then it'll get it'll build up and then just cut loose.
Yeah, we just got pop-ups today. But
The grass it's kind of weird. you'll look at it and think, well, I need to cut it. And then you'll look at the end of the day and it's like, it looks fine now. It's not very thick. It just, I don't know. It'll be, we'll get a lot of rain. It'll be, soaked. And then a few hours later, you go out there and the grass is all crunchy. So,
Now I got a question from Kansas to Florida. Up here in the grass in the summertime, you got to put stuff on it or the chiggers get to you and all that. How about down there?
We got ants.
Huh?
We got biting ants.
There's a lot of ant hills.
So we've been treating them with grits. Yes.
Taking care of most. Well, we got wiped out the ones that we knew about, and then we just got some new ones, so we got to get them.
So, yeah, I've got to go make some borax and sugar water to kill some more. But the grits will explode the queen. So kind of like rice with the birds.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they eat the grits. They take her the grits, and she eats them. And as they get wet, they expand and.
Really?
I heard about diabetes.
Yeah, I've heard of that
I got to
too.
get some more of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And it's safe for
just regular grits.
Yeah.
Put anything else with it?
No.
Cook them or just leave it raw?
Yeah, just raw.
Wow. I'll have to try that up here and see if it works on our ants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been working on.
It does. I mean, when you sprinkle it on there, they go crazy. They're like, oh, wow. And they start grabbing it and taking it right in.
Really?
Like you gave them a treat.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have
That's
to go up to Tractor Supply and get some of that. So, and we do have a Tractor Supply close by, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, like Christopher says, malaria. You guys got a report of malaria down in Florida.
Yeah.
We haven't seen too many mosquitoes.
Oh, last night when we were out talking to the new neighbors, I got tore up.
This morning I walked out.
If I'm out on the porch and I turn the lights off inside and I don't have them on, I don't get bothered one bit. I can sit out there. I usually talk to my mom out there. They start flipping on lights. Oh, man, they tear me up. It's like
get your mosquito light and put out there. I know we've got several of them and everything, and they're working real good. We got them from Temu, and they're working real good out on our deck.
Yeah, Are you using the Temu app or are you just using the website?
I use Temu on my phone and on the computer. Because
there's a lot of talk about
might want to
Temu
use just
app.
your computer.
Yeah, about how it's tracking people and some more stuff that you don't want the Chinese to be using against you.
Right.
So, and they're saying that there are some viruses built into their app.
Oh.
Well, I know that for a fact.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust anything.
No, I just use a regular website and go through that, but still I turn all my locations off and everything.
Yeah, it's not the locations, it's the crap that they got hidden in the app that's the problem. Mm-hmm. People don't know.
Got that thing laying against the wall.
Yeah, I know I got it laying against the wall. I don't have a choice. It's a shelf. It's heavy.
You should have put something behind it.
Yeah. So it never made any marks on our wall at home. So at the other house. I've got a bookshelf under my desk that he's talking about. It's really not a bookshelf. It's one of those big wooden crates that they sell at Walmart. And my desk has a little wire piece that goes across. And at the house, our vent came up where I have this at now. And I would use it to divert the air. So instead of it going to the window.
Scratched and dent these walls up, they're harder to fix because of the texture on it.
Well, at least I don't have a wall partially painted in the background now on you guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
No. So, but we do have.
We don't have time for that right now.
We're lucky if we have time. Well, right now I've spent all of my time has been spent doing laundry dishes, cleaning up sticks.
And our house did officially sell. Last week we got our money and
Good.
got that taken care of. So we're completely done with that.
Good
I was a
deal.
little concerned about it.
Yeah.
If it was all going to actually go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. OfferPad did a great job.
Yeah, they did hold back $10,000 for the final inspection, you know, but it was in better shape when we left than when they actually showed up for the inspection.
Right.
So we got that. So
Yep, and we already.
I thought they'd want to take something off or, you know, whatever, but they didn't.
No.
Well, that's good.
We've already
Yep.
met some very nice people at the bank.
Good. And your internet's doing great down there. So
let's see.
All the way down in Pensacola.
Yeah, everybody's bitching about how far. I don't know why that.
well, I said that, and
Not
now
on
they froze
Wi-Fi.
up.
Oh, you're not?
Nope.
I thought you were hard.
We're back.
Okay.
Looking at stuff to see what's going on, to see, because it says that I'm connected
Yeah.
through Ethernet.
Ethernet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
could just have a
Well,
lot
you
of people using stuff.
You're not buffering. You're freezing up for seconds at a time.
Oh, well, we were just sitting here still. So,
No, you just froze up right there.
so
And
Yeah, we gotta keep-
while you were saying that.
Uh-oh.
But,
well, I do have some stuff running in the background on my other computer. So it could be that.
right.
So,
Gary did
because,
really well on
I didn't
his,
work for 2 weeks.
right. Gary did real well on his auction down there. Now he's got an open house, and he's kind of like, there's parts of this house I've never seen. So
An
yeah.
open house? You mean he's selling his house?
No, he did an
Is he
auction.
selling his house?
No.
He got rid of
He did
all
an
that
auction, got
stuff
rid of a lot
that
of
Sue
stuff.
had been
Okay.
collecting for years
Yeah.
that he didn't know about.
Did he make a good profit? Well, he doesn't
Yeah.
know if he made a profit. He doesn't know how much he spent.
Well, true, but it helped him out a lot.
Okay, good.
That's good.
So,
And-
yeah.
And so when's the open house?
Huh?
When's the open
Do what?
house?
You already had.
There is no open house.
Yeah,
A
when
lot
Oh,
of the
okay,
stuff in the house he sold. He's
Oh,
got
okay.
more room in the
Got
house.
an
It's an open.
open house, a lot more room, and
Got
Like
it.
you said, you walk in my house now, you can actually see all the walls.
yeah, I'll explain it to her later.
No, I got it.
Okay.
It's our house we just left. We got all the crap out. It was really weird looking.
It was.
You can actually see walls and everything. It was weird.
It
That's
was.
all right. You took it to Florida, so give you time.
Mm.
Do you
Yeah,
know?
that garage is full.
You want to
And
hear
then half our
something?
living room.
I actually hung something on the wall here that wasn't a shelf. I hung up a picture that may not have ever even been hung up in our previous house before this.
Oh, really?
Yep. And all these boxes that has their, certain person's junk in it, they're going to sit there and go through it. And we're going to put it in containers.
Got a little one back there.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Hey,
It's
get her
a
up.
ghost.
Hey, get her up there. I've got to get
You want
something.
in here? Come here. Oh, I can't turn around. A honey towel? What you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh. You say hi to
I think she
Carl?
woke up.
Say hi, Carl.
Hey,
She's
Clover.
on the way. She knows where we're at.
I'll get flapping. I'm going to log off here for a second, and I'll be right back, and I'm going to have her laughing her head off.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I will be right back.
Oh.
He's coming back with something for you, sissy.
That's great, Gary. I'm glad you got lots of room now. So
Yeah.
as you guys can see, Clover decided to make an appearance. Come in and see Grandma and Grandpa. So and Angela, this is Leah's other baby.
We call her Sissy. Her brother does. Did you just wake up?
She is precious. She is a big girl. Oh. And that was Ruby. Oh, you see that?
We got ghosts everywhere. Yeah, I looked up and I'm like, what?
Dead bug. Dead bug. No, we'll have Grandpa get it. There's a bug.
That's a bug? We gotta get that bug.
Here, Carl's gonna come show you something.
Oh, he's got something for you.
He actually left. So
He's going to get it.
So
what do you think it is?
So
is it
guys, the
scary?
Paranormal Pride will be back on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central starting on July 10th. I just didn't think it was right to come back on July 3rd.
Yep. Precious hair that needs a haircut.
So and Angela used to do hair.
I know.
So, but I'll be back then, and it'll be my 8th anniversary show. And I can't wait till we can bring that back. So, you want to see?
Uh-oh.
You see what Carl's going to share? So, look.
Whoa.
What is that? Is that a beaver? Say, what
is that?
Yeah, what is
Wait
it?
a second.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna do something. Watch.
Look.
Uh-oh.
Hello, hello. Hey, Clover. How are you doing?
You say hi? Ruby, you want to say
Clover.
hi to the beaver? Say hi to Carl?
I don't know what's
Yeah, right there. That's Carl.
That's a beaver. It's a talking beaver, man.
What do you think? Say hi, Carl.
This
Oh,
is Frank
okay,
the Bear.
well-
Yeah.
She's not interested.
She's not impressed.
Well,
Or she just woke up too, so.
So
Uh-oh.
how is everybody
look at that.
doing out there?
It's a red panda.
A panda?
Mhm.
Right.
Clover.
Clover,
Crazy.
you see the red panda? See? You see the red panda?
What is that?
Oh. Nope, she's not interested in that either, apparently.
Hello, Clover. Oh, you're not liking me? Can you say hi,
So-
Carl?
I
Hey,
don't know
Oh.
a panda.
yeah, Ron will like this one
I really know
if I
what
bring this up.
TV.
Turn white.
I don't know what that is, what that means.
I don't either.
Well, we're here.
You see Gary's comment? There we go.
Hey.
Sure.
What?
I don't know what
He
that
had
means.
A vision
Gary.
of water
Yeah.
running over a red rock. It turned white.
Huh.
Did the water turn white or the
Hey.
rock turn white?
They just call me Angry Trump. Okay.
He should be angry. People are assholes.
Just a second.
Hmm.
I'm pooping. I'm pooping on a dragon.
On a dragon?
Yeah. So you're pooping on my dog.
He's trying to cloud up.
Been doing that for a little while.
He's pooping
So-
on the
Popcorn.
and the pony.
So
All gone. It's all gone.
you gotta get more. Gotta
You
get
need more? You want some more?
There we go.
So
I gotta get more popcorn.
We did that last night on the Born TV After 9. I had Barbara falling out of the chair laughing. It was working a lot better at that time. But, it was.
well, it's probably because right now service is probably being used a lot since we're in prime time.
Hi, Ruby.
Octopus.
Say hi, Carl.
My boy.
Hi.
And
Hi, Carl
Yes.
the octopus.
Carl the octopus.
Yeah, Carl the octopus. That's fine.
So
You can call me anything, just don't call me late for supper.
yeah, we had. Oh no, let's not do that. We had early lunch or late lunch today. Pizza.
Yeah,
So-
we did.
So so Ruby could have pizza because we haven't, how we have Casey's back in Kansas City.
Right.
We don't have
That's
Casey's.
good.
We have other things. We just haven't found a. You okay? We haven't found a place where you can buy slices of pizza yet.
We did. Go Domino's.
Yeah, well, we just bought a couple
Buy the
pizzas
whole pizza.
at
Yeah, we had
Domino's.
a new place here in Gallatin that started serving food up here. So I went up to try it out. We got 3 soft tacos and nachos and everything. It was real good earlier today.
So the new Mexican restaurant has opened up there.
No, not yet. They opened up this Saturday.
So was it a food truck or something?
No, it's up here in a little building across from the Dollar Tree.
Oh,
They do cakes and everything in there where they started doing tacos and pulled pork and sliders and things in there. So
are they related to the previous restaurant that was up there? No.
nope. Somebody completely different.
It was because I thought for sure that her cakes and stuff would be something she could still be selling.
Right. She does every once in a while. Christine does.
But
Yeah, it's just been crazy working and doing some of this engraving late in the night and early in the mornings to get caught up for Paragold.
so were you able to use any of the stuff we gave you?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yep.
let's see some of it.
Well, I've actually got it in a crate.
Oh,
Packed
You already
up
got it ready
for
to
the
go, huh?
Paragold and stuff. But let's see. Some of the things I have been making. Oh, let's see here. What I got up here. I don't know how well this will show on the camera, but these are special little deals for a VIP package down at Paragold that goes in the bag and everything. It's the Hiya Nation podcast with Santiago Sorello
yeah.
on it. And then on the backside, I'll put my Wizards engraving on it. Because the only ones that'll get them down there are in the VIP package. And when they come up there, they get 10% off automatically showing this.
Okay.
Huh.
So, yeah, I can make 10 of these at a time, and it takes 12 minutes.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So,
That's coming up. What, July?
July 21st and 22nd.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be down there the 20th to the 23rd.
I got about 17 days till I see one of my cousins. She'll be coming down here to down to 30A.
Yeah, we'll have to go to the beach.
Darn.
Darn it.
Now, nobody ever wants to go to the beach.
Mm.
So
Nobody wants to go to
sand-
the beach.
That sand is so white. If it's a really sunny day, you just have to wear sunglasses or you can't see.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, have you found the beach down there with the pink sand?
the pink sand beach that we know of is in the Bahamas.
Yeah, that one's.
That's at Harbor Island. We've been there. We went for our
Okay.
25th wedding
supposedly
anniversary.
one somewhere in Florida, wasn't it?
There was one that I found.
I thought you found one.
But it wasn't
Yeah,
as
it really
pink.
wasn't pink. As pink.
Yeah. Every time I look up Pink Sand Beach in Florida, it sends me to Harbor Island.
What'd you think of that submarine going down to see the Titanic that imploded?
That was pretty predictable. Wish I could have placed a bet on it.
What other device would you think going down to implode that had a lot of billionaires and millionaires on it?
Yeah.
Shut the door.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, Josh Gates.
Not that one. The outside one.
There's $20 on the floor.
The what?
Oh, the door's not open. There's $20 on the floor.
$20.
Did it fall out of my wallet?
It had to have.
Okay.
And that's a big room.
Oh, it is. So.
Yeah, it's bigger than our other house, the master.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because we got a lot of junk.
I thought you was going to go through it.
I am. We still have a lot. I've got 2 great big shelves with wheels on it that's going to go in the garage. That's where I'm going to put store crap. And then if I need to move it, then I can just move the whole shelf.
Right.
So I should be here tomorrow.
So have you been doing a lot of barbecuing or anything?
Oh,
down
yeah.
there?
Oh, yeah.
I'll bet you have.
Almost every night except, well, last night she gave me a night off.
Right.
And
Let's
well,
see.
tonight.
Last night we went to the Mexican restaurant in Cameron yesterday. And 3 nights before that, all 3 nights I was out on the griddle cooking stuff outside for her. So
Yep, I've got my charcoal grill. We went to the Sam's Wholesale Club. I forgot what we were there for. We're getting some stuff and looking at some other things. And oh, okay, she sent a picture. Yeah, Denise will be back.
you're right.
Anyway, we're walking down that aisle, and I don't know. It was really weird. A couple weeks ago, there was nothing on TV. I'm just flipping channels, and I see that Ninja wood fire grill. I don't know if you've seen that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching. Well, what caught my eye is the 2 guys that are on there. I've seen those guys in barbecue competitions. And I said, oh, I wonder what they're pimping out or trying to sell. And they're really good. They're really good at, barbecue. That's the only reason I watched it. So I'm sitting there watching their thing, and they're really, they loved it. And I was watching the stuff they could do. And I thought, well, this thing's pretty neat. I thought it was probably, $600-700, but yeah, it was a little over 300. Well, they had them on sale for 300. They had knocked 30 off. So anyway, I walked by. We kept walking back and forth, and I kept looking at the box. And I looked at Denise. I said, I'm probably going to buy one of these and try them one day. I might as well get it the cheapest price I can find it.
Right.
And yeah, I've got it. Still trying to get it figured out. I'm getting there, but I cooked some hamburgers like the first night. Well, no, I cooked hot dogs just to experiment. I figure if I screwed it up, it's only hot dogs.
Right.
Those turned out really good. So the next night I did some hamburgers and I had everybody try it. Well, my daughter Lauren, she tried one And I said, "What'd you think?" And she goes, "That was probably the best hamburger I've ever had."
Really?
And I went, "Oh, really?" She goes, "Yeah." And I went, "Oh, okay."
Good.
So we did, more hamburgers the next night, and I'm gonna do some other stuff. I'm gonna do different woods,
Right.
different rubs and flavor, things like that. I like to experiment.
Well, that's like our griddle out there. Our little one is
Yeah,
only like
this has a griddle.
17 by 20
Yeah,
and everything. Tammy was out there watching me cook the other night, and she goes, "You need a bigger one." I said, "Yep, I'm looking
yep,
at a 36-inch griddle
yeah,
to put out there to control more and everything instead of one burner on it."
right.
And I mean, I love cooking on it. I haven't even
That's
fired up a charcoal grill or the smoker yet. I've been cooking everything on the griddle.
that's what it comes with, like a grill plate, and then it comes with the griddle. So I can do both. I can grill, I can smoke, I can bake, I can dehydrate, I can air fry,
Mm-hmm.
just
So
all
you
kinds.
do that. You do that griddle and do smashed burgers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna do your omelet. That's what I wanted to do, but I forgot to get some hash browns.
Mm-hmm. The omelets on there, and
Yep.
then the smash burgers is another big hit with Tammy.
But I
And
can also
everything.
add like a smoked flavor to it. Just real, light, different, a different smoke
Mm-hmm.
flavor to it, not heavy or anything.
And we did a lot of fried rice
Yep.
with vegetables and chicken in it, or pork in it, or whatever we wanted in it at the time
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, I've used the hell out of this griddle. I mean, we bought it when it was on sale at the Amish store up here for $60, and I've already
Yeah.
got my $60 worth of use out of it. And I got the hose to hook up on the big bottle, 20-pound bottle, instead of them little bitty 1-pound bottles.
Yep.
So, but yeah,
Yeah. My only complaint is it's not real big. I fit 7 hamburgers on it, but that's about pretty decent size
well,
hamburger.
the size of the family you're feeding, you need 2 of them.
I know, but I told Denise, I said, after everybody leaves, I said this thing will be perfect size for what just us.
Right.
If we have any visitors, yeah. I mean, I still got my charcoal grill. I mean, I could like on a charcoal grill, I can cook hamburgers or whatever on it, and then air fry some French fries on the Ninja, while I'm doing at the same time.
Right. Oh, I know and stuff, but
It cooks them fast. I mean, it takes longer for the thing to warm up and the igniter to ignite the wood than it does to pretty much cook anything.
exactly.
It is fast.
It takes longer than the prep I do for the griddle. The griddle, I let it heat up on low to get the temperature up in the metal, and then adjust it from there and check with my temperature gauge deal. And usually do it in butter, or I'll do it in canola oil, one or the two.
Yeah.
And it's worked out good. We did pork steaks on it the other night and everything, and they turned out really, really good and tender.
Angela said Kinder's wood fire garlic seasoning. Yeah, I'm messing around with different seasonings, and I don't know what other people do, but I used to actually mix seasonings. I would get a couple that I really liked, and after a while you go, this would be really good if you mixed it with this other one.
Exactly. That's what I do. I buy
Yeah.
seasonings up at the Amish store in bags and stuff,
Yep.
and I mix my own up to use.
Yeah.
And
I'll buy different ones and try them, and kind of put the back of my mind.
And I always mix up one that will either work on pork, chicken, or beef at the same time. That way I'm not having one of this, one of that, one of this.
Exactly.
And I mean, it works out real good.
Yep.
After doing that at the restaurant on the gigantic griddle, cooking up there, once in a while, and then we bought this one, I was like, oh yeah. And I see Walmart's got a sale on my Blackstone, the big 36-inch one. I'm like,
Uh-oh.
oh. But I'm building a small area on the deck that'll be screened in for the summer
Yeah.
and then tarped for the winter, so I
Right.
can go in there and cook too. I'll
Yep.
have a vent fan in the ceiling going out through it. So we've been working on that. Tammy liked that idea, and I said, well, you know me, I love cooking on this stuff here. I hate cooking on your flat top stove.
Right.
I hate it.
Yep.
I said, if you want to cook on that thing, you can. And ever since we've got the griddle, she might have used the stove a half a dozen times, the top of it.
Right.
So it works out real good that way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something just different on a stove. It doesn't taste right.
No, it
And we
don't.
could cook. I mean, I pretty much cooked year round anyway. Before, I definitely can down here.
Well, that's like the griddle outside. I can cook it on a cast iron skillet on the flat top, and it will still taste different outside than it does inside.
Yep. Yeah.
No
Every
matter
time.
what.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's doing pretty good. I'm getting my kitchen kind of built out there for the rest of the summer and the fall, and then I'll enclose it to where it'll all be inside. I've got a small refrigerator that I acquired and everything to put out there. I've got the big 5-gallon water deal with a spigot on it that I fill up and set on the table, so I got water under a pan.
Yep.
It's working out pretty good. So, but well, I'm glad the kids found jobs and you get signed up to
Most
work
of them.
with
Well, two.
the same company Denise is working. So
Yeah, I hope so. I'm gonna try and get on there. I put in at Home Depot and Fastenal. Good company.
Yeah. Yeah, something will come along. This way you can take a little break from all the years you've worked.
Yeah, hell, I put in enough hours over the years. You did 40-hour weeks from the time I started. I probably worked till I was 70.
Uh-huh.
As much overtime I worked when I was at Griffin. When we moved into our other house, I found a bunch of my check stubs for about a year and a half's worth. The shortest week I worked was 56 hours. That was the shortest in a year and a half.
Uh-huh.
Everything else was in the 60s, 70s, even 80-hour weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, man.
Well, you had a family to support.
Right. You got to do what you got to do.
And everything. So now, did you bring all your winemaking stuff with you?
We did, and I don't know why. When we looked at it, we almost put it in a donation thing because we haven't even done anything with it in years.
I know. You need to get back into that.
Well, we wanted to make some mead. That's what we wanted. But to make it, you actually got to age it, they said, for at least a year or so. Because a lot of the meads that they have out there, they said it's only aged like a couple months.
Right.
That's why it doesn't taste very good.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't had a chance to do anything paranormal. We're maybe 2 miles from the biggest, oldest graveyard in this part of the Florida. I drive by it when there's a walk path down along the river, That's where I've been going. It's mostly covered, but it's pretty neat. You got a couple creeks that run alongside it,
Mm-hmm.
and some bridges with a bunch of wildlife to look at. I haven't seen a bear yet, but we had one. I don't know if you guys saw the video over in Pace, which is right next to us. Guy had one in his backyard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little black bear.
Mm. No, I was watching a show the other day, the Swamp Hunters and all that.
Yeah.
They were down in Florida, southern Florida, of course,
Mm-hmm.
down there hunting the snakes to get them out of there.
Oh yeah, the
And I'm
python.
like, oh, hell no. I'm not grabbing the snake by the tail and then have to fight it to get its head. It's called pistol. Bam.
Exactly.
What are they going to do? They catch them and, yeah, that one's worth $400. Somebody's going to kill it.
Oh yeah.
Might as well be me.
I don't know if they eat them, or I don't know what they do with them.
A lot of them do. Well, a lot of them skin them and use the skin on it to make
Right.
different things. And
Yeah, I don't know how python tastes, but
they
probably not great.
yeah, they were doing. It was crazy down there. I was like, I'm not grabbing it. There ain't no way.
Nope, I'd shotgun it. Boom.
Honey wine. Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, he asked if we brought our winemaking kit down here, and I said, yeah.
Yep. We've
No,
got it.
don't know why.
Well, we'll probably do something with it. We just got a big, is it a quart jar of honey, so we can start fighting the allergies that we won't get down here.
Right.
So,
She's gonna start that just in case.
yeah,
She was sick. We left on Friday morning, and she was.
I was sick on Thursday.
You were sick on Thursday. She was out of it. She was making no sense. She was talking in circles. It was just. I swear I thought she had a stroke. I mean, she just.
I was beginning to wonder. I was worried.
She was saying stuff and then forgetting what she just told me. I would say, hey, we need to do this. And she'd go, okay. And then she'd like disappear. And I'm like, where are you going? I don't know. It was weird.
But I drove all the way here, though.
Yeah. And she's not used to driving that much.
Right.
That was. It didn't bother me. I'm used to driving like that, so it's not a big deal. But
yeah, the only thing is, I didn't realize how much weight I'd lost until Saturday. Saturday, I looked at myself and I was like, "Oh my God, I've lost a lot of weight." And I mean, I realized that my pants were falling down, but
yeah, moving is a great workout. If you're wanting
yes, it is.
Lose weight and tone up, yeah, it'll move a few thousand pounds of crap a few times, and woo.
Yeah, we'll go work for a moving company.
Yeah, you don't even need to go to the gym or nothing.
No, you don't.
The Schumann resonance has been crazy. I have to look that up.
What is that?
I don't know.
So the Paranormal Pride's coming back July the 10th. Who's going to be your first guest?
I don't know.
Oh.
So it will be someone amazing to mark my 8 years of doing the Paranormal Pride.
I'll see if I'm available.
And because, throughout all this stuff, my 8 years was back the last Monday in April.
Yep.
And I pretty much haven't been on this whole time because of I didn't want to half-ass the show. That was the first thing. And the second thing was
usually summers are a little.
yeah,
A little
summers are a little
slower
bit slow.
anyway.
But with the moving and stuff,
Yeah, we just haven't.
I just didn't have the time to put in to finding the guests, doing the banners, doing all the stuff that is related to the shows, and I feel bad for not doing all the things I normally do. But if I had, I wouldn't be here right now. I know it. With as sick as I got, I mean, in the last couple months, I've been sick off and on with other things from the stress and all that, plus my job. You know, it's reality says I needed a reality check.
Right.
I can't do everything. And I try really hard to do everything, and I know I can't. So I took some time for me. And last week when I went back to work, I went back to work on Monday, and I couldn't really work very good.
That was yesterday.
No, last Monday.
Hi, Evelyn.
I went back to work.
Hey,
And like I said, I half-assed it for a few days. And then finally I called my boss and said, I can't keep my eyes open. I just got to take off these next 2 days just so I can get better. And I mean, I didn't have a voice on Tuesday when we were going to try to be on your show.
No, she didn't. You couldn't.
It sounded like
you could see her mouth moving and nothing was coming out. I was like, damn, what happened?
And when it did come out, it sounded like I was possessed.
Yep.
Ooh.
But she could have been. I don't know.
But, you know, that was the thing. I had my priorities were.
And she slept all day Friday. She woke up late Friday and then just went back to sleep.
Over and over again.
Yeah, I said, nah, let's just close the door and leave you alone.
And I said, Ruby stayed with me almost the whole day.
Yeah, he was pretty quiet. He just pretty much played his games and they really didn't bother
Pretty much all he did was say, look, Grandma.
Yeah.
Look, Grandma. And I would go, oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I just go back to sleep. So
yeah.
But he was excellent taking care of me. Yeah. He just sits there in the bed and cuddles me, and you know, you can't ask for a better grandson than that. So
you can't.
But yep, we'll be back. And I did have some guests that couldn't be on the show near the end that I'm going to reschedule. So that would be Lena Townsend. I'm going to reschedule her. Hopefully her house is not as busy as it used to be. I'm going to have David on, and Charlie. I'm going to have them back on. And maybe
together or separate?
I don't know. But we're going to have some people on, and we're going to talk about what's going on in the paranormal. And you know what? I may have Brandon Cooper come back on and hear about what's going on with them and all that. So it's going to be, let's go. It's going to be fun. So we're going to make the paranormal fun again.
Hey, that'll work.
MBFA.
That's what Chris is going to start doing on his show, a segment on it on Sunday night.
What, making the paranormal fun again?
Yeah. You're going to have to check it out and see what he does. He's making some video clips from paranormal shows.
Oh, no.
No.
You mean the stuff like
I have a lot
I talk about
to
all the
pick
time?
from.
Because some of that stuff really irritates the life out of me.
Is Pastor Gary going
he's not going to be cutting it down. He's going to have fun with it. There are different ways he told me he was going to do it.
That'll be easy.
Oh, this is going to be interesting as all get out.
Oh, well, Chris always does a great job. So you guys check out No BS on Sundays. What is that, 5 o'clock still?
5 o'clock Central Time.
Is Pastor Gary going to get his show going?
I'm working on getting him set up now that he got all this done. I had to let him recuperate.
Yeah, I knew he was busy with that.
That day at the auction about wore him completely out.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things that was probably wearing him out. Not only selling all this stuff, but it's pieces of his wife that's going away.
Exactly. A lot of it was.
Well.
But
you know what? Once you don't feel like you're a hoarder anymore, it's great.
Right.
So.
Well, we've come to our time limit again. And I want to thank everybody over on Facebook and on Rumble for watching us tonight. I was especially happy to get Danny on here. I reached out
Oh
to him
yeah.
today because I'd been talking to him. Told him that I showed it last week on the Paranormal Nation radio show and stuff. And he said, yeah, he'd love to come on. So that was an interesting
Yeah,
talk with Danny.
that was a good catch. He's hard to get a hold of.
I know he is. But again, I want to thank everybody. Thank Denise and Ron for coming on, like always. So we will see you next week here on.
Will we? Next week is 4th of July.
Oh, let's see. Let me
That's
look
right.
at my.
It is. Wow.
Good thing you said that. Oh, yeah, we won't be here next week.
Yeah, we want everybody to enjoy their 4th of July. Go blow some stuff up.
We'll be watching the Blue Angels.
I'll be watching fireworks getting inebriated.
It's
In our
legal to
front
blow
yard.
up stuff here.
Yep.
On 3 days a year. So
Yeah, they started selling it up here.
So everybody, please enjoy your
Hell, they-
freedom with
They
the
sell
4th of July.
they sell all these big fireworks. I don't know, a bunch of big boxes of it at Walmart,
Yeah.
of all places.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Not
Yeah.
in Kansas.
Not in
So-
Kansas.
We're not in Kansas
Everybody just
anymore.
check out the Bill of Rights Network on Facebook for all the shows and everything. And we will see you next or a couple weeks here on Paranormal Nation Radio. Take it easy. Have a good
Good
night.
night.